Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the second race in the 2019 NRSL Mountain Dew for the Win Cup Series. We're on tap for 98 laps, 150 miles of racing action as we look to see who will win the second race of the season. On pole for this race is someone who's won 2 Truck Series events at this track, and that is Dylan Young, looking for that first career win in the series. Kind of a shocker that the NRSL president has not yet won a race here. He came so close at Richmond last year, but a caution in the fall race trapped him a lap down, tail end, lead lap, and he was unable to get the W. So today he looks to make things different. Jonathan Sorlin, your winner from last week at Daytona, all but locked into the chase, has to be top 30 in points. Considering this driver was a Final Four contender last year, it's highly unlikely he will see himself fall down outside the top 30, but things tend to happen, and we had a crazy Atlanta weekend, a Daytona weekend, I mean. Atlanta yesterday was pretty tame, so hopefully the same thing happens today here in Cup with our new package for the intermediates that we'll see at 6 of these racetracks. Sam Oskin and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. sit in row 2. Row 3 is Seth Cole and Gatlin Downey. Seth had a very fast car last week. Mark Riggleman, Rob Evans in row 4 with Marty Johnson and Levi McIntyre in row 5. As we go through the rest of your starting lineup, Johnny Gardner sitting in 11th. That is your defending champion. Both defending winners from Atlanta in the Cup Series are not in the race. Alexander Rowe won here in 2017. Deanna Jones won here in 2018. So the defending car is in the race, but not the defending driver. And now we shall go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
So, we talk about Dylan Young and his career in the Mountain Dew for the Win Cup Series. Now, hold up, did I not write this man down? Yes, I did. So Dylan Young in 2017, 24th in points, 1 pole, 5 top 5, 7 top 10s. Last year, he came so close to that win. He ended up being the top driver to not make the chase, which is a pretty big honor. 17th in points for Dylan. 1 pole again. Only 3 top 5s, but he did have 9 top 10s versus his 7 top 10s in 2017. So, I mean, more top 10s, less top 5s isn't really a big deal. Still better on the performance end of things. He had an average finishing position of 20th, so we'll see what happens here today. But Jonathan Sorlin, who won 3 races last season, could be looking for win number 2 and to start this season off with a bang. Samet Oskin, no wins in 2018, 1 win at Sebring in 2017. Fitzwater, 2 wins last year. Seth Cole with a few wins last year, 3 in 2017. Seth will look to get his first win of the season. As we see the new package, man, look at that. They actually had to slow down mid-corner all the way down to 160 miles an hour. But look at the speed down the straightaway. All the way down to 160 miles an hour. So throttle control will be huge here today. You can see really flying off the corner. 201 miles an hour. Look at how early they have to lift. And tire wear will certainly play a factor. They're basically slowing down to truck speeds, except a lot slower, but still having an insane amount of power. So we should not see a lot of double file racing here. Dylan Young in the lead. Sorlin sits in second right behind him. Fitzwater third, Oskin fourth. Seth Cole sits in fifth. Rob Evans sixth. Downey and Riggleman fight for 7th. Gardner sits in 9th on the bottom with Johnson in 10th on the top. Sorlin all over the bumper of Dylan Young here on lap number 3. Does the driver of the 5 make a move? Looking at Dylan Young, Dylan ended up finishing 38th last week. It looks like Young's going to pull away a little bit from Sorlin here. Fitzwater closing up in 3rd. So far, single file. No sign of Sorlin being able to get around Dylan Young. But they are surprisingly single file from through most of the field here. Nico Tringali 11th, Quentin Moore 12th. Let's see, Johnny Gardner's going to make a move on Riggleman here. Looks like they're actually going a little bit faster here mid-pack. But Gardner is able to get by Riggleman. So it's not impossible to pass. He made it look pretty easy. Marty Johnson is a rookie. See a lot of throttle control going on here. Tringali trying to run the top with Riggleman, but Riggleman can't do it. Marty Johnson will pass him for that 9th place position. There's your Daytona 500 pole sitter, Edwin Mendez, up to 13th place. We remember Mendez did not drive in 2018. He's off to a pretty good start here in 2019. There's Jessica Shelton in 15th, 2nd place finisher last week. Fastest lap goes to the 88 of Rob Evans, so far 29.809. There's Jefferson. He was the man who just flat out disappeared during that huge wreck with Charles Jackson last week. Shelley, remember, 2 wins 2017, 0 wins last year. You can see they just lift so early. '17 champ Caleb Hoffman not having a good run so far. Cole Deaver's back here. This isn't the way Deaver wants to start off this season. He had a great run last week. They're actually going faster on the top line back here. So Dylan Young continues to lead. Top 5's all pretty close together. Gardner has made it up to 8th place. He now rides on the bumper of Gatlin Downey, teammate. In fact, Go Fast Penny Enterprises is looking pretty sharp here today. Fitzwater sits in 3rd, Evans 6th, Downey 7th, Gardner 8th, and Quentin Moore sits in 13th. So this Chevrolet team, even with 2 rookies, they are doing a great job here today at Atlanta. As Samet Oskin is going to put Fitzwater to the top side here through 3 and 4. Fitzwater is going to get a good run off the corner. But the 2 will remain side by side into turn 1. But it looks like Oskin had to cut the throttle a little more than he would have liked to. And that'll allow Fitzwater to clear. Let's take an onboard here for a lap. We'll go on board with Johnny Gardner. As you watch that mile per hour, just how fast they accelerate down these straightaways. And look at the lift point there. Oh my goodness. Drivers just kind of riding in line. Different packs, they've just kind of spread out across the field. Evans was looking for 5th place there on Seth Cole, nothing going. So you can see you already got about a second to fall off. Dylan Young Looking pretty good. Solin's been unable to get a good run to pass him, but he's been right there the whole time. Sorlin's peaking, and there it is. There's the move for the lead on lap 14. First time all day. But Young is able to brake or lift just a wee bit later, and he'll pull back down in front of Sorlin. As we'll go through the top 10 here, as Oskin is again going to make a move for third on Fitzwater. Dylan Young leads. Sorlin second. Battle for third between Oskin and Fitzwater. Seth Cole fifth. Rob Evans sixth. Gatlin Downey seventh. Gardner is eighth. Marty Johnson ninth. And Tringali sits in 10th place. And now as the tires continue to wear, we're halfway through the run. It looks like we're going to see some more moves. Oskin still side by side with Fitzwater. Sorlin was peaking again on the front straightaway. Oskin and Fitzwater battling nice and hard side by side. Great race in action here. This is going to allow the cars behind them to close up. Now it looks like Downey might make a move on Rob Evans, as Evans has gone kind of to the outside on Seth Cole all by himself. Gardner has gone to the top to pass Gatlin Downey. And Oskin falls back from Fitzwater. Oh, he's going to try and tuck in line, and he does just that. Seth Cole not as fortunate. Nope, Seth Cole will get back in line, but Gardner passed Downey on the high side and put Johnny Gardner up to 7th place. So clearly these drivers are seeing this new package. It will be tough to make passes, but it is possible. As Young and Sorlin begin to drive away. So far, a nice, clean green flag race. Pit crews could come down to making things interesting. But Dylan Young so far showing Atlanta seems to be his best track. Doesn't matter if it's a truck, doesn't matter if it's a cup car. And it's crazy, they slow down so much you'd think we were under a caution flag. So Sorlin, the gap increases now again between Young and Sorlin. As Fitzwater and the pack begin to loom closer once again. Let's look at the back of the field. Ace Rogers in 42nd, Deaver 41st. Parker finds himself in 40th. Patrick Sick, Nate Rogers, Andrew Miller, Ryan Brommer, Ferranti, Shearer, Flickinger, Hoffman, and Alves. All the drivers outside of the top 30. Bit of an uncharacteristic bad day for someone like DJ Curtis, Alex Gray, drivers who have won on speedways before. It looks like qualifying really mattered here today. Green has gained the position on Sebastian Kugelon. That's for 22nd there. William Flickinger sitting in 20th. Riggleman down to 16th. Jefferson sitting in 15th. Shelley is trying to pass Quentin Moore for 13th place. And in front of them, the main pack, Shelton, Mendez, Tringali, Marty Johnson, Downey, Gardner, Rob Evans. They're really starting to move around a lot here. Downey trying to pass Gardner back on the top. Right now your top rookie would be Rob Evans in that 88 car. Him and Downey, teammates, doing really well. And then you got Marty Johnson in the Dodge. Looks like Downey will pass Gardner back for 7th from the top side. Shelley has made it by Quentin Moore, and he has in fact gapped Quentin Moore a pretty good amount. So it looks like James Shelley on the move here at Atlanta. Gardner now losing more positions. Looks like he's going to lose 8th to Nico Tringali. As you see, these cars have slowed down all the way to 145 now. The amount of fall off here is pretty crazy. So pit strategy is going to be interesting here. And Gardner will lift a little earlier there. Tringali's going to get 8th place. 8th place cleared as Mendez has made his way into 10th. Marty Johnson 11th, Shelton 12th, and James Shelley approaching in 13th. Jefferson has passed Quentin Moore for 14th, so we've got our comers and goers beginning to show up, like Tony Green, for instance, up to 21st. Those who saved tires are moving. Those who didn't are losing. But still, the top 5 remains the same. It has not changed. Young, Zorlin, Fitzwater, Oskin, and Cole. On lap 24 of 98, coming to lap 25. We're a quarter of the way through this one. Zorlin looking again. Looks like we saw some more passing action going on in the back there between Gatlin Downing and Tringali. That would be for 7th place, and Tringali has passed him from the high side. See just how close these drivers get to each other's bumpers. But the crazier thing is that they go from 148 straight all the way up to 190. You can see just how early they're having to lift to not pile drive these corners, as Tringali now is driving up towards the top 6 and away from Gatlin Downey. Let's go on board a cockpit ride here maybe with Samet Oskin. Look at how early he lifts on the bottom line there. 6,500 RPMs. Look how early they lift on the straightaway. Oh man. Atlanta definitely showing to be one of those tougher racetracks. It looks like passing on the top side is a little more preferred. As now Downey begins to plummet. He's falling outside the top 10. As Shelley, Jefferson, and Quentin Moore begin to catch up to this pack. So Downey will fall in line in 12th place. Shelton, Johnson, Mendez, and Gardner gaining positions. Tringali will look to challenge Rob Evans for 6th as we're nearing the pit window. The fall off has reached about 4 seconds almost. And Sorlin for the first time gets to the inside of Dylan Young. As they come off of turn 4, Sorlin will lead his first lap of the race. You can see Sorlin will lift a little earlier because of where he is in the groove. But Jonathan Sorlin, after 29 grueling laps, will clear Dylan Young for the race lead. And now we'll see if the 3-time Speedway winner can pull away. Reminder, Sorlin won at Michigan in 2017, and last season he won at Charlotte and I believe the Meadowlands. Could be mistaken on that other Speedway race, but I'm pretty sure it was Meadowlands. Rob Evans now getting passed by Nico Tringali along the top side. That's for 6th place. Gardner's going to that top line too. But you can see top line's really coming into play here. Gardner is going to speed past Evans on that top line. So it looks like beginning of the run, you want to be on the bottom. End of the run, you want to be in the middle. Gardner will drive by Rob Evans. That'll move him up to 7th. We'll see if Edwin Mendez can get 8th place here. Just see how quiet these cars get going into the corner. And there it is. Mendez just passing Rob Evans is now. Seth Cole actually lost 5th place to Tringali from the bottom line. So Nico moves up to 5th place here on lap 33. We're really seeing the comers and goers going here at the end of the run. Lap 33, Sorlin now gapping Dylan Young. And is it time to pit? It's hard to tell, really. Fitzwater, though, to the inside of Dylan Young for 2nd place. So now after leading 28 laps, Dylan Young appears to be one of the goers. And everyone else becomes the mover. Tringali, Gardner, Mendez, they're really getting some good runs going here. Now we're side by side all over here. Tringali to the top line behind Dylan Young. Seth Cole runs behind him. Down to 138. We're at about 5 seconds of fall off here on the racetrack. Pitting early is going to be very crazy to see. We're seeing definitely a longer fuel run with this insane amount of wear. They should be able to two-stop this thing. But Sorlin is gone. It doesn't matter really when he pits. He could pit early, he could pit late. 135 miles an hour. Just think of the other tracks on the schedule like Auto Club, Old Surface right there. You've got the Meadowlands, Texas, which is the finale, should be interesting. See here. Other tracks that apply are, as I think Sorlin's actually pitting this time. Denver will be interesting. And Pig Stadium is the other one. And pit stops have now finally begun. Sorlin, the first one down. Fitzwater, Oskin, Young, Seth Cole, Evans. First car to stay out was Nico Tringali. It's not a surprise, really. He pulled this kind of strategy at Texas in the spring last year. It just about got him a race win. As you can see, fall off to 5 seconds. But lap 36, lap 37. Johnny Gardner will stay out. Maybe looking to pull the Deanna Jones strategy, you know. Everyone's going to have to pit twice here, though. See Mendez, Shelton, Johnson, Jefferson. Gardner stayed out. Looks like Tony Green, William Flickinger, Austin Alves have stayed out. Everyone else, though, has come down pit road. And Gardner will come down pit road this time. Tony Green will stay out another lap. Flickinger will pit. As will Austin Alves. And there's your leaders per se out on the track, up to speed. You know, it's a 5-second difference. See, there's Tringali. Look at all the time he gave up that he will gain back. There's Tony Green. And Green will pit here, and that'll give the lead back to Sorlin, who actually has Zachary Fitzwater Sr. on his tail. bit of lag right there. Fastest lap on the first run was Rob Evans at 29.809. So Sorlin is not by himself like he probably thought he would be. Sorlin in the lead. Fitzwater sits in second. Third, Rob Evans. Fourth, Dylan Young. Fifth, Charles Jackson. Sixth, Quentin Moore. Seventh, Sam Oskin. Eighth, Seth Cole. Ninth, Nico Tringali. And 10th is Jose Mills. See anyone else? Edwin Mendez down here. Lost a few positions. Marty Johnson lost a handful of positions. Same with Jessica Shelton, Johnny Gardner. Remember, Gardner was the third round to stop, so he's got a lot of time to gain back. Downey has lost a tremendous amount of field position. Ace Rogers ended up gaining some. I'm guessing he pit early. There's Tony Green. I mean, he stayed out the longest. He's going to have the freshest amount of tires. Austin Alves, Phil Parker. Alex Ferranti lost a fuel cell or something apparently. He is retired with no fuel, and Nate Rogers is on pit road 4 laps down. We will take a break and we will be back at Atlanta. We are back at Atlanta. Found out what happened to Ferranti. Problem with the pit stall for him. Went back around, ran out of gas, and just came in and they were done. Nate Rogers looks like he overshot his stall and got a toe glitch. So he is still in the race, but he is 5 laps down. Here on lap 49 and 98. Official halfway point of the race. Sorlin still leads. Fitzwater still right on his bumper. Evans in third. Young fourth. Jackson fifth. Oskin sits in sixth. Quentin Moore seventh. Seth Cole eighth. John Art ninth. And Nico Tringali is making moves as he sits 10th place now, battling with William Brock. The other driver to be on the watch for is this man right here in 18th place, Johnny Gardner. See, the longer the run goes, the more the fall off kicks in. We've still got 25 laps on this run until they pit again. We'll see if anyone takes 2 tires or not, because if with where they'll be pitting, they could probably get away with a can and a half instead of 2 full cans, and that could save them 3 seconds on the pit stop. They're going to go 3 wide in front of Gardner there. That's Shelley, Sanford, and Mills. Since we're at lap 51, let's do a NRSL rookie update. Your top rookie on the day is Rob Evans, sitting here in 3rd place. He's the only rookie in the top 10 at the moment. Marty Johnson sits all the way down in 19th place. Jose Mills 16th. Sebastian Kukulon 21st. Andrew Miller 26th. Gatlin Downey 27th. Ace Rogers 29th. Levi McIntyre 30th. William Flickinger 33rd. Patrick Zick 36th. Ryan Romer 38th. And that does it for our rookie report. So now Fitzwater losing a little bit of ground to Sorlin here. Meanwhile, Rob Evans with a bumper full of Dylan Young and Charles Jackson. Looks like Oskin is closing the gap there from 6th place. John Arndt, sits now in 7th. William Brock 8th. Jefferson in 9th. So there's a rookie. I forgot the 15. And Seth Cole now sits in 10th, as it looks like Tringali is falling on that bottom line, which is kind of surprising since he's got fresher tires. He's getting continuously passed on the top. Gardner to the inside of James Shelley. We know Gardner's got 1 more lap fresher tires than Nico, and 2 laps than a lot of these people around him. Tony Green with the freshest tires on the racetrack. Where does he sit? He sits in 34th. He seems to be making moves, but it seems to be very difficult. So very interesting to see how this package is working out here today. As we head back to the front, Zorlin just has one car, and then it's 4.6 seconds back to Rob Evans. So let's go back. Let's see now. Oh wow, yeah, Oskin has really closed up here on this 3rd to 5th place group. See if Oskin makes any moves here on Charles Jackson. The answer is no right now. Aren't pulling away. Tringali now. It looks like Quentin Moore's the slow car out of this group. Tringali and Gardner really need to find the way around him. But amazing to have a caution-free race here at Atlanta so far. See Gardner looking. Qualls sitting there. Surprisingly, James Qualls having a pretty good run here today. 16th place right now. Qualls did not run Atlanta for the trucks this weekend. And there's the move to the inside by Tringali on Quentin Moore. And he will easily pass the 89 car. Gardner will follow. And now Gardner will make the move on Tringali for his position of 13th. And he will take it easily. So now we're at the point of the run where the fresh tires are really going to come into play. You can see even Gardner's just flying away here. 143. See Gardner already back out at it here. The start finish lane speed for Gardner is going to be 187. Yeah, see Tringali's out about 186. Qualls might have fresher tires than Tringali. I don't know. But Gardner driving away now. He's running 2 seconds off pace of a fast lap, but he is whipping. So now we'll see if Gardner can catch back up to that group from 13th place. Sanford with a pretty good run here today. He sits in 12th. How about Jay Jefferson and Rob Evans? 2 rookies in the top 10 here today with a new package. As Zachary Fitzwater Sr. has passed Jonathan Zorlin for the lead here on lap 60 to lap 61. So 3rd different leader under green non-pit stop conditions is Fitzwater. Reminder, Fitzwater did win at Auto Club last season. Along with Richmond. So Fitzwater looking to get his first win of the year. Fitzwater was not a driver that made the playoffs. He finished 18th in the standings behind Dylan Young with those 2 wins. 2017, he found himself 31st in the point standings. No wins, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s in 2017. 2 wins, 4 top 5s, 8 top 10s in 2018. So Fitzwater looking to make his teammate and owner Johnny Gardner proud by getting himself all but locked into the playoffs with a win here early on. But what can we say about Jonathan Zorlin starting this season off with a 1st and 2nd place finish, if that is where he finishes today? If he were to win this race, even more impressive, but it looks like Fitzwater might be faster here on this run than Zorlin. As Johnny Gardner Finds himself up to 10th. He's made it by Sanford, Cole, and Mendez. We're about 10 laps away from pit stops. He is still 8.4 seconds back. One problem for these drivers on the late run is for their strategy to work, they have to wait until 10 laps before it's time to pit. Considering none of these drivers are going to pit until lap 76, 77, they're not giving themselves a lot of time to gain that ground back. So hopefully they're going to try a two-tire strategy to make up for some of that lost time. But Gardner finally finds himself back in the top 10 here at Atlanta. Meanwhile, Tringali has finally pulled away from that pack. 14th, Qualls in 15th. Johnson's back up to 16th place. Moore, Shelley, Shearer, Riggleman, that's the top 20. Downey in 23rd. Tony Green has made his way up to 26th place. Remember, this is the car with the freshest rubber on the racetrack. Curtis struggling in 28th. Gray 30th. Hoffman, the 2017 champion, he's all the way back here. There's Nate Rogers. Remember, Nate ended up being 5 laps down, and oh, he's making contact with William Flickinger. Some cars are pitting early. Edwin Mendez and Kev Shearer have pit here on lap 66. Phil Parker doing the same. Perhaps a change in strategy occurring. Yes, indeed. Rob Evans, Sam and Oskin, they see it too. They're coming down pit road. Jay Jefferson is coming down pit road. Mendez was the first to jump on it. He could come out with the lead. Quentin Moore, Shelley, Jose Mills. The strategy has changed mid-race, similar to what we saw at Rockingham in the fall. Fitzwater is going to pit. Sorlin's not. He's going to keep going. Dylan Young, Charles Jackson, John Arndt. Even Johnny Gardner's going to pit here. Sanford stays out. Seth Cole stays out. Tony Green's pitting early. That is a real surprise. I would have thought he would have kept going. The caution is out, though. Caution on the racetrack. And that hurts everyone that just decided they were going to pit early. Wreck in turn 3. And I wouldn't be surprised if the super fast 83 car had anything to do with it. Sorlin is still racing back to the caution. And right there, he'll take it, and everyone will be good to go from here on green flag conditions. Phil Parker, I'm guessing, did not. There's interesting circumstances regarding this yellow flag here. There's the pace car. We'll see how many cars are lead lap after this. It looks like it might be down to 23. Good run's gone bad for Mendez, Evans, Jefferson, Oskin, Shelley. So Sorlin will lead his group down. It looks like Fitzwater stays out. Is he on the lead lap, however? It looks like he is not. He's tail end. There's a lot of cars on the tail end of the lead lap here. But let's look at what brought out the first caution of the day. It looks like maybe miscommunication here. It's just stuff gone wrong here. Hoffman's going to bump Gray in his quarter panel as they're going into turn 3. And he's just on him through the braking zone. And right there, around Alex Gray goes. And the caution flag comes out. Luckily, they're going pretty slow. It's not going to be any super heavy contact. Gray's going to all but knock it around. Right front damage there. Hoffman hits the wall with the right side. But that is what brought out the caution here today. See if this Gray get clobbered by anybody. Nope, he's going to get it back going. And that is what brought us our first caution of the day. With that, let's get to the race restart. Getting ready to go back green, nobody retired, and well, let's just say there's only 14 cars on the lead lap officially. Tail end of the lead lap include Fitzwater Sr., Dylan Young, Charles Jackson, Johnny Gardner, William Brock, John Arndt, Mendez, Miller, Evans, Jefferson, Shearer, Moore, Oskin, Downey, Green, Shelley, Kukalon, Mills, Flickinger, Shelton, William Flickinger, the other one was Sack, Coldever, Brommer, and McIntyre. Cars on the lead lap. Your leader is Peter Sands, someone I have not seen at the front all day. Jonathan Zorlin second, Charles Sanford third, James Qualls fourth, Seth Cole fifth, Nico Tringali sixth, Marty Johnson seventh, Mark Riggleman eighth, and now a handful of drivers we haven't seen at the front either. TJ Hanley now sits in ninth because of this. DJ Curtis in 10th, Alves 11th, Patrick Sick in 12th. Gray is on the lead lap in 13th with Hoffman on the lead lap in 14th. So some of the drivers who were barely, that were outside the top 30, now on the lead lap in a very good finishing position. It does not look like Peter Sands has pit yet. I'm almost wondering if he has run out of gas here on the start or something. He is on old tires. Peter Sands has not pit yet. What on earth was he thinking? And that's going to put it down between Seth Cole and Jonathan Zorlin. I'm insanely shocked that the 12 car has not pit yet, and he's going to try and come down right now. What kind of strategy was he trying to pull? That really hurt Riggleman, Hoffman, Tringali, Hanley, Gray, and Sick. Not to mention James Qualls, Sanford. Fifth is Alves, fourth is Curtis. Third is Marty Johnson as Seth Cole and Zorlin race behind the tail end of the leaders. There are 38 cars officially on the lead lap. I don't think Zorlin and Cole will be cutting through the field by any means. But Zorlin should be decently happy that it's probably just going to come down to him and Seth Cole. Now, if we were somehow to get another caution, I would not want to be back here because you're literally at the back end of the pack. Curtis and Alves have gone by Marty Johnson. So Sands will return to the racetrack. Not sure why he continued to stay out and not pit under the yellow. Definitely a crazy strategy I've never seen before. Zorlin and Seth Cole now chopping through some lap cars. Now, the fact that they were behind the pack has allowed Curtis, Alves, Johnson, and others to slowly work their way back up. But Sorlin and Cole have put a few cars in between them, including Cole Deaver, Levi McIntyre, and James Shelley. But Curtis is the first one there, and Curtis is no rookie to these types of situations. We had a race last year at Dover where he was the only car on the lead lap, along with Zach Flickinger and someone who had damage. 14 cars is a lot different than 3 cars. But Curtis getting by Shelley really quickly there. That leaves McIntyre and Deaver. Oh, Sorlin's going to go trying to go to the top of Brommer. That's going to let Seth Cole get to his inside. Oh, Brommer is borderline wrecking the O2 to get to her inside. Man, how crazy is this racing? Looks like the move by Sorlin might have been a bad idea. And Seth Cole will take the race lead here at Atlanta. And he will actually lap Ryan Brommer. So not sure what Sorlin was trying to do. 16 laps to go here at the start-finish line. But Curtis third, Alves fourth, Sanford now up to fifth. Johnson's down to 6th, Qualls is looming in from 7th. Patrick Sick, TJ Hanley, Nico Tringali, Mark Riggleman, Alex Gray, and Hoffman. So at the back of the pack, let's see, 14th to 20th is Fitzwater, Young, Jackson, Gardner, Arndt, Brock, and Miller. And now Seth Cole finds himself in a hairy situation with a bunch of lap cars. He rides behind Jose Mills as he passes Shelton and William Flickinger from the top line. William will prevent him from getting down. Now Sorlin's losing ground. Sorlin seemed to have the car to beat earlier, but apparently he does not have a good car in traffic. As he puts Shelton 3 wide. That's the car he beat for the win last week at Daytona. You think she's going to let you by? But how about Seth Cole? Had a really strong car last week, couldn't get it done. With the help of a caution here today, he found himself in second. Now he finds himself in the lead. But there's still a lot of racing to go, and they are in a pack. Sorlin's having some bad troubles with Shelton here. Curtis Sanford behind him. As Alves falls to 5th. Qualls has caught the pack, and now Sick, Hanley, Tringali, and others will close in. Sorlin still 3 lap cars in the way for him. Seth Cole's got 2 cars side by side in front of him. That's Tony Green in the 40, Kukulon in the 9. And now Seth Cole to the top line. William Flickinger under him. Seth Cole's making that top line work very well. And he's going to be put 3 wide here, though. Or maybe not. He clears. Sorlin still with 3 lap cars in the way, and it looks like Curtis has had enough. He's going to make a move on 2nd place. Sanford side by side with Alves for 4th. Does Curtis clear here at 10 to go? And Curtis will clear. Sanford drops in line behind the 16 of Alves, and now Sorlin will find himself dropping even farther. He'll lose 3rd to Alves. Will he lose 5th to Sanford? Seth Cole with a teammate behind them in the form of Tony Green. 9 laps to go for Seth Cole. And it looks like 2 of our final 4 from last season will win the first 2 races of the year. Sam and Oskin was a top 5 car all day, and then that pit stop strategy has knocked him down outside the top 20. Fitzwater still leading his group. He's got Dylan Young and Jackson right behind him. Then it looks like there's a bit of a gap to Gardner. Big gap from Brock to Miller, 19th to 20th. 7 to go this time here at the start-finish line. Curtis is now about to lose second to Alves. Seth Cole looking to put Downey and Shearer 3 wide. And he will do just that. Now Seth Cole with a comfortable amount of lap down cars behind him as he clears the storm. Alves up to second. He is sitting side by side with Shelton Sanford right behind his teammate. In 3rd place, Marty Johnson back up to 4th place. Sorlin has made it back up to 5th as Curtis has now fallen. Down to 6th, TJ Hanley on the bottom behind DJ Curtis. Behind Jonathan Zorlin. James Qualls right here. There's Patrick Sick, Nico Tringali, Mark Riggleman, Hoffman, Gray. And then, yeah. Fitzwater, Jackson, Young, Gardner, Arndt, Brock, Ace Rogers 2 down. There's Nate Rogers. There's Andrew Miller, Jefferson, Parker, Mendez, Moore, Evans, Sack, Flickinger going for 24th right here. Gatlin, Downey. And oh, what happened to Seth Cole? Seth Cole had the pit. Oh my goodness. That changes everything. That just threw Austin Alves to the race lead. I'm shocked. This is turning into Texas all over again. Could BMW get their first win before Audi in less races? I mean, think about it. BMW wins today. They did it in 2 races. Audi is up to 39. It looks like James Qualls is pitting in the back. Coming to 3 to go, and apparently fuel is a bigger issue than initially thought. Johnson's up to 2nd. Hanley 3rd. Sorlin 4th. Tringali 5th. Only 8 of the 14 cars that stayed out, that were assumed to have pit on their yellow, stay on the racetrack. Tringali I can see hugging the apron back there. He's pitting. 2 laps to go for Austin Alves. And this kind of strategy is going to allow Fitzwater and some others to get back into the top 10. Alves sits behind Kukulon, who sits in 27th. Alves is going to go high. Are some of these lap cars going to pit? Doesn't look like it. No sign of anyone pitting here. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for Austin Alves. Marty Johnson, TJ Hanley. Does Hanley have time to get by Alves here, or is the top line preferred for the 16 car? Alves gets the run down the corner. There's Hanley back. Alves will split down to the inside on teammate Kev Shearer. No, wait. Alves looks like he's going to pit. I don't know what he was doing. He was on the apron, but Austin Alves is going to win at Atlanta. I'm not sure what he was doing there at the end. But that was heckin' strange. TJ Hanley gets second. Marty Johnson, rookie of the day, in third. Sorlin fourth. Patrick Sick, our other rookie, in the top five, in fifth. Alex Gray sixth. Riggleman seventh. Waiting for the rest of these cars to hit the line. Standings are official. Fitzwater 8th, Jackson 9th, and Dylan Young in 10th. What a finish to this race. As we watch Seth Cole finish 30th, Sanford 31st, Curtis 32nd, Hoffman 36th, Tringali 37th. Man. What a strange strategy race here at Atlanta. These are going to be some interesting intermediate tracks. But with that said, that is it here from me at Atlanta, and I will see you guys at Rockingham.